Every battle theme in Final Fantasy has its own charm to it, and honestly, all of them really set the tone for the game really well. However, there are some that are better than others, and, well, that's what we're talking about today. I will also only be including the first battle theme in the game, so for, like, Final Fantasy 15, that has, like, 9 million battle themes, or such, and also Final Fantasy 14, since there's different areas and they all have the same theme, just remixed differently. I just picked my favorite one, so that was a choice. But in this video, yeah, I'm just going to be talking about my personal opinions on the battle themes, and I'll play them in their entirety really quick, and then I will talk about it. But there will be timestamps. If you already have heard the songs a million times and you don't want to hear them again, there will be timestamps, so you can just skip to the analysis of the songs. All right, let's get into Final Fantasy 1, and this is what it sounds like. Alright, so let's analyze that theme. Alright, so this song is so iconic. I'm not going to deny that. And I like it. I'm saying it's a C tier song. I don't hate it. It really is such a vibe, and it makes Final Fantasy 1 the quirky game that it is. There's a lot of nostalgia behind this song. Come on. I didn't even play Final Fantasy 1 first, but this just feels like it would be the first song in the series. And it laid a foundation for a lot of the later songs, like the dun 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 dun, like the intro thing. I think happens in the first at least 5 games. I don't know if it carried over to the 6th one. Can't remember. It definitely didn't carry over to the 3D era, but you hear this theme and you're just okay, this is the FF battle theme. You hear the intro, and I really love that part. I think that honestly every FF game could have continued with that little intro, but I guess it wouldn't make sense for Final Fantasy 16, 15, no. But anyway, I really like that part. I like that it set the tone for the battle systems in the series, and it's pretty catchy. You never forget the song. You hear it the million times you hear it in the game, and you're just you remember this song. This is a song that you'll be humming along to in the shower. Let's be honest here. If you played FF1, you know what I'm talking about. This will get in your head. However, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but as you probably heard, I'm only doing the original versions of the song, and honestly, I really do like the original version of the FF1 battle theme. It definitely fits with the game. I was playing, my girlfriend's brother and I were playing the original Final Fantasy, the Pixel Remaster, and I was just you know what, this really does still fit with the game, the little NES chip tune, but really, it isn't even the song's problem. It kind of is, but first of all, it is just a limited song. It is 8-bit tune. It's repetitive. It's endearing, but it's a 50-second clip repeated over and over again, and it goes over and over and over again, whereas some of the battle themes in later entries are solid 6 minutes long. You don't really hear the same part over and over again, and when you're in a long battle, you're hearing new things, right? And so it's basic. It doesn't really have full orchestration and modern music technology of later ones, and it's very simple, which is okay. It'd be okay if it was simple and stuff and repetitive if you actually heard it an okay amount. However, the biggest problem is the encounter rate in Final Fantasy 1, which usually I'm not going to be talking about that, but since there are so many encounters, this 40-second loop will be 90% of what you hear in the game. Okay, maybe not 90%, but really that might be true. The majority of the game is going to be you hearing the battle theme, and you just really want to turn it off, and listen to a YouTube video or a podcast or something, because you do not want to hear this over and over and over again. It just is not nearly as good as the other songs in the series, and I don't hate it. Like, I still like it. Like I said, I hum it. Like, I remember this song, I hum it, like I sing it, I like it, but that doesn't mean that I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is a banger battle theme. Alright, let's move on to number 15 on this list, which is going to be Final Fantasy IV's theme. Alright, check it out right now. Alright, let's get into what I love about the Final Fantasy IV battle theme. I love the mid sections. They're like da 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 da. Like, that's cool. I like the build up. Like, this song is building somewhere. And I really like that it has that and has the punch of the notes. It does a good job. It uses, I was looking at the comments section of a video, and it has some nice minor chords that manipulate like the sound. Like, you think it's going to go somewhere and it goes somewhere else. So it has some really cool ideas. It's like a little echoey, and it has a lot of like good vibes, you know, and it is perfect for the game. Like, I'm not going to deny that. I don't know, the Final Fantasy IV soundtrack has never really hit it for me in my, like, for me, like, I know, like, my dad loves this game, and I know he adores the soundtrack. I really love that, and I like the song. Like, this is a big step up from Final Fantasy 1, like, enormous. And I get how people love this one. I totally get it. But I think this one has a shorter loop than Final Fantasy 1. Like, I just listened to it. It's like 35 seconds long, and it's the same thing over and over again. And it like builds and then it unbuilds, builds, unbuilds, builds, unbuilds. And it doesn't feel as loopy as some of the other ones for me. And it's like, that's a weird way to use the word loopy, but like, it's energetic, it's catchy, it has that punch, but I don't know, it just really is not my favorite. And there's just other themes that have a lot more like rhythm and tempo to them, and I think that, I don't know, I think other games like perfectly set the atmosphere, some of the like the battle themes, and I feel like this one did a good job, but it wasn't like phenomenal battle theme. Like, some games really made you feel like there was like a conflict, and this is more like a do 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 do. Like, it's like whimsical, and it kind of is like a battle theme, but like when you think about it, it's not like intense. Like, it makes it feel like, oh, I am like punching a punching bag. Like, no, okay, that's not the vibe I'm getting. Let's rethink that. It feels like we're like two toys are fighting. It gives me like the stakes of the Ant-Man final scene, final battle. Like, you know, people are beating each other up, but it's not really like, okay, there's like a full-on battle happening here, you know? And I really like this song. but I usually forget it. Like every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh, that's the Final Fantasy IV battle theme. I forgot about that song. Like, it's good. I promise I think this is a good song. But like, it's kind of iconic, but it's not like the pinnacle of the battle themes. Also, Final Fantasy battle themes are always good, like even the first game. But again, I'm gonna have to give this a very, very high C tier for me because it's not very memorable for me. It's really good, and I understand the love for it, but it's not for me, really. Alright, next on this list, in number 14, is gonna be Final Fantasy III's battle theme. Take a listen now. Alright, let's talk about the Final Fantasy III battle theme now. So, honestly, the Final Fantasy III battle theme kind of gives a vibe similar to the Final Fantasy IV battle theme. The whimsical, like, okay, we're not really, like, full-on war here, but that fits more with Final Fantasy III, because Final Fantasy IV, I mean, yes, there's a lot of, like, fake-out character deaths. Like, it is cartoony in some ways, but it's also very rooted in adult themes, like, of changing and all that stuff, whereas Final Fantasy III is just like, okay, jobs, let's have fun, boom, end of the game. Like, there's not really a story here, so I get the, like, do 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 do. And I also think that this song, like, did so good with what it had for the NES. Like, you hear that, and you hear like the trap beats in the background. You hear, like, there's a lot of depth here for the NES, and I really think that this is a really good song, and it has the build but it kind of like backs off, kind of like Final Fantasy IV. And yes, it doesn't have like the urgency, you know, and all that stuff. Like, it really is just, for me, a slight step up from Final Fantasy IV. Probably still C tier. I'm gonna have to go still high C tier. I just think it has the same vibe kind of as the Final Fantasy IV theme, with the building and then coming back down and having the same like length of a loop and the different, like, the whimsical kind of nature. But Final Fantasy III, I think it just fits better for it, and I admire the NES song for Final Fantasy III better, because really I feel like they did exactly like the most they could possibly do with the NES. So I like that. All right, in 13th place on this list is going to be the Final Fantasy VI battle theme. Take a listen. All right, let's discuss the Final Fantasy VI battle theme. All right, so the first thing that I have to say about this is it's like aggressive, punchy. The climax of this song is epic, but and it has like a 1 minute loop. Like there's more here than the last few battle themes, but it's like, here's the problem for me. I'm like, it's like do 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 do. Like I feel like I hear that so many times, and I get why people love this one, and I think that it takes, like if you listen to the Final Fantasy IV versus Final Fantasy VI, I feel like they really found their grounds with like the sound font. I feel like it's definitely upgraded a bit better here, and I think that, yeah, there's some really good parts here, and I love Final Fantasy VI music in general, but this is really one of my least favorite songs from the game. And you know what, like I'm saying this because I feel like Final Fantasy VI fits more than, like, Final Fantasy III, the song fits perfectly with the game. Final Fantasy IV, I'm like, okay, this is a little too casual, if you know what I'm saying. This one perfectly fits. I'd rather pull up the Final Fantasy IV battle theme and listen to that than this one, but Final Fantasy VI just does a perfect job, in my opinion, of what it sounds like, and I think that this is a really good battle theme. I just don't really love it, but I like the very end of the loop, like the last like 10 seconds I really like. But I just feel like a lot of this song is more repetitive than the last few, but it fits more because it's the more aggressive, more punchy, and it has more of that like epic vibe to it than the last few. So like I don't think it's perfect by any means of the word, but I'm gonna give this one as well a C tier. Very high C tier. Again, like this is comparing to all the other Final Fantasy games. Like in terms of an actual battle theme compared to other games, I'd probably give it a B tier. But just, I don't love the Final Fantasy VI theme as much as Final Fantasy VI is my favorite game in the series by a pretty far wide margin, at least so far. I haven't played like 16 and stuff because my parents won't let me, for goodness sake. But I think that this is a very, very good game. I mean, I'm 16, so I guess like, it makes sense I'm not allowed to play a mature game. But anyway, Final Fantasy VI's battle theme is very solid, and I like it, but I don't love it. Alright, let's move on to the number 12 spot on this list, which is going to be Final Fantasy XIV's battle theme. Take a listen. Alright, let's analyze this theme now. So, Final Fantasy XIV theme. My brother tried to convince me that this is one of the best, and my brother just goes deep into the holes of Final Fantasy music, RPG music and stuff, and he just like listens to all of it. He hasn't played FF14. We don't want to pay all the money for it, and quite honestly, my parents won't let me get it because they think I'll spend 1,000 hours on it, which is probably true. So that's probably it's fair enough, but that's why I haven't actually played FF14. So maybe I'd like it more if I played it in the game. But as I watch gameplay, I listen to the song, and I really just feel like I love the live orchestra feel. But my problem with this game is that, you know, it sounds like it's a great song, but as a battle theme, like I feel like this sounds more like a run theme, but like a casual run theme. Like you're running away from something and you're kind of just like do 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 do. And I like it's chill, like it has the orchestral grandeur, but it doesn't use it. If that makes any sense. For me, it's like it has the sweeping orchestration, and the game has epic music, but the battle theme just feels so unepic by comparison, at least the basic battle theme. And this is my favorite version too, the one I found, like this one right here, and it just, I don't know. It isn't captivating me, and I go online and I'm watching this gameplay and I'm like, this looks so much more, like the battle looks a lot more epic than the game's music is telling me it is. Like if I'm listening to this music, I'm thinking of a more like do 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 ba do ba do ba do ba 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 ba. I'm thinking like a chill game like Final Fantasy III, not an epic MMO large-scale RPG like Final Fantasy XIV, thousands of hours of gameplay type game. For me, I imagine Final Fantasy XIV having a more like 15, 16 grandeur type sound to it. But this is just like super whimsical, like a Final Fantasy III type whimsical that I'm not just really connecting with as much. However, that music, like the sound is so good, some of the best in the series, and like rivaling that of 15 and 16, and I'm just listening to this thinking it could have been so much better with what they had with this live orchestra. So I'm going to give this a very low B tier because I think it sounds very good. It just doesn't fit at all as a battle theme, and I really do not think that playing this game for thousands of hours with this as the battle theme would be fun, because I want something that makes it feel like an all-out war in a game as large scale as Final Fantasy XIV is, and this just seems a little too small. Alright, let's move on to the next game on this list, which is going to be in 11th place. Hopefully I'm not mixing up the places at this point, but in 11th place is going to be the Final Fantasy V battle theme. Take a listen. Alright, so let's talk about the Final Fantasy V battle theme. You know, this one is like literally the most average one for me. Like, I don't have any love for it. I don't have any really bad critiques for it or anything. this is more of a me thing, because I think that this is actually one of the most well-crafted battle themes in terms of the atmosphere of the game. Like the do ba do ba do ba do ba ba da ba do ba da ba ba, like that part right there, like it captures all of what FF5 is like. Like somehow in like 7 notes it sets the tone for Final Fantasy V. But that's the problem. It's setting the tone for Final Fantasy V. Because the Final Fantasy V soundtrack is like this, the instruments just don't do it for me. And like the remaster, like if I find like a epic guitar version of this song, I'd probably really like it. But it's the instrumentation that I don't love so much, and it feels like a weird middle child between 4 and 6. And I mean, I like it better than both of them, but it perfectly fits with the game. But this isn't really one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, nor does it have one of my favorite soundtracks. And I know my brother like adores this song, and he tried to convince me to move it up like 8 spots. I feel not that high, but he can try to convince me to move it up like 3 slots, and I'm just like, I really can't do it, man. Like, also it has, honestly, I think it has a shorter loop than Final Fantasy 1. I just looked, it's 35 seconds. That's the whole song. So you're listening to the same 35 seconds over and over again. And while it really fits with Final Fantasy V, it's solid, but it isn't amazing. You know what I'm saying? So it's really nice. It's a good battle theme, and I really think it is perfect. Like, I don't want to change it. I just don't like listening to it very much. If that makes any sense. Hopefully that made any sense. Alright, next in 10th place is the Final Fantasy XI battle theme. Take a listen. Alright, let's analyze this awesome song. Alright, like seriously, there's the most enormous gap ever between this one and the last one. Like, ranking these next however many songs was hard. Took me a lot of time. And really when it came down to it, Final Fantasy XI just hit last in terms of all these masterpieces for me, because I have no emotional connection to it. And yeah, that sounds stupid, but really, I listen to it, I'm like, this is a banger, but I'm not remembering all the times I went back and all the things I did in Final Fantasy XI, because, well, I didn't play Final Fantasy XI, nor am I allowed to play Final Fantasy XI, nor do I honestly want to, I'm gonna be honest. Like, it doesn't look like the greatest game to me. Like, Final Fantasy XIV, I want to play. Final Fantasy XI, I'm just like, eh. But really, this, I think this is leagues ahead of Final Fantasy 11. I mean, Final Fantasy 14. And I wish that this maybe was more of like the Final Fantasy 14 soundtrack. So maybe I'll just like play Final Fantasy 14 one day and just listen to this while I fight, because it just seems like it fits both games better. But anyway, besides that point, I think that Final Fantasy 11 really does have a solid battle theme, and I just don't, no emotional connection. I also think it is, like, it's good, like the dun 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 dun. I think it's really like punchy, but I feel like some more like background, like something driving it forward could have been better, because like it definitely feels orchestral, but I feel like there could have been more of like a beat in the background, you know what I'm saying? Like if we are listening to this track and it's, my favorite part is the do 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 do, like the do 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 do, like that's my favorite part. But that sounds more like some weird like cave theme than a dungeon theme, and I think it's good. It's really, really good, honestly. Like I just said, it was a masterpiece a little bit ago, but I think when I'm going down to the nitpicking of it, it doesn't have an emotional resonance for me, and I think that, well, it just kind of seems like a specific battle theme. Like, if that makes any sense. Like, this seems like how Genova has its own battle theme. This feels less, I don't want to say generic, because a battle theme shouldn't be generic, but this just seems like it would be for a certain area, like an espionage area or something of intrigue, instead of like a punchy, like, battle theme. Like, I don't know how to explain this one. I think it's an amazing song, but I can't really see myself playing FF11 and being like, oh yeah, this fits FF11. So I don't know. This is an amazing song, though. I'm not going to deny that. All right, let's move on to, I think are we on number 10 now? Hopefully you're on number 10. And that is going to be the Final Fantasy II battle theme. Let's hear it. Alright, let's talk about this one. Okay, first of all, if we're talking about remaster versions, this is probably a top 3 for me. Okay, top 4. My 4th favorite if we're talking the newer versions. But this theme is, like I was saying, the FF5 theme captured the magic of FF5, but I'm personally adore FF2. It's actually one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. I'm one of those people. I know I'm crazy. But you know, Final Fantasy II, this battle theme sets the tone for like everything about the game, and it's able to make it sound like there's so much peril in this world in just like 5 notes, and it's crazy. I really love this song so much, and the chiptune version of it isn't my favorite, whereas like Final Fantasy 1, I like the NES version honestly the most, but this time the with the chip tune sounds kind of obnoxious. However, for the most part, like, I love this song as a song, and it's so, I mean, I'm trying to separate how much I adore the normal version mean, not the normal version, the updated version versus this version. But I just think this sets the tone very well, and I love this song so much. Like, I really probably should have put it lower because this isn't the remastered version, but I had such a hard time not doing that, and I really wanted to put it higher, so I did. And yeah, I'm just going to be honest, I love this song so much. And I love Final Fantasy 2. Eventually, I'm going to talk about how much I love that game on this channel. But anyway, Final Fantasy 2 battle theme, absolutely adore it. Alright, I think we're on 9th place now. It is Final Fantasy 9. Take a listen. Alright, this song is a little bipolar for me. The beginning is my favorite intro to any Final Fantasy song. It takes all the legacy of the first 6 games of the dun 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 dun, and it makes it into this like huge, like epic sounding intro that really actually makes the horribly slow battle system in Final Fantasy IX feel better. And that is saying something when you can make a battle system better just instantly by the music. But I think that like the first like 30 seconds are so good, but then once it goes like do 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 do, it just like it just loses the initial grip, if that makes sense. A little bit, not a lot. Honestly, remember, again, I'm nitpicking here because I think that all after FF11 and on are very, very good songs. But I think this one starts phenomenal and just doesn't keep it up as much as most of the other songs later on this list do. But that banger intro is more than enough to get it this high on the list. And really, when a game can one capture the whole like legacy of the series, can make the battle theme better, and can capture the atmosphere of the game as well, that's a pretty dang good battle theme. I just wish that the middle part, I guess the whimsy kind of fits this game, but also it's a pretty dark game, so I don't know, it kind of fits. I just wish there was some more intense like instrumentation for the later part. of the song, but that's, I mean, it's not a big deal. Like, really nitpicking again. That's just personal preference, of course. All right, Final Fantasy VIII battle theme. Take a listen. I feel like this battle theme is just the epitome of Final Fantasy VIII. Again, most of these battle themes are just perfect for their games, obviously, because Nobuo Uematsu's a genius. But, you know, this has, like, the epicness of Final Fantasy VIII in it, but also, like, the quirkiness in it. Because, like, I feel like it's a really epic song, but I feel like it's, like, laid back a little bit, you know, like, a little chill. And for the other games, I was like, okay, well, we can have something more epic here. But, like, Final Fantasy VIII is the game where everyone comes from the same freaking orphanage. Like, we've got some cringe stuff here, and we got some weird laid-back stuff. We've got some weird stuff about, like, hot dogs and stuff. Like, this game is just... I don't know. This is just... It really works, this song, for me. And I don't really know. Like, it just... Final Fantasy VIII, I really like this game a lot more than most people do, I feel like. And this game's battle theme just works. It's not as good as, like, Man with a Machine Gun or any of the other battle themes in the game, but it really has some special flair to it. It's hard to describe. I feel like the other ones I could really exactly say what I thought about it. But when I'm thinking about it, like, is it really better than Final Fantasy 9 or 11 or any of that stuff? Well, maybe not. But I just can't say it's any lower because it really just has that feel to it, that real, like, it doesn't feel like an epic war scale battle because that's not what FF8 is doing, but it doesn't feel like wimpy like some of the other themes do, like 3 or 5. Like, it feels like you've got the quirkiness, you've got the, like, balance, like, you've got the full, like, FF8 feel to it in this song, but without losing the intensity, but also without losing the quirky whimsicalness of this really weird game, you know? And I think it just really fits with Final Fantasy VIII. So, yeah. Also, honorable mention, I feel like if Final Fantasy XII actually had a battle theme, it'd be next on the list. Just saying, I feel like that would just be a thing. But, of course, Final Fantasy XII doesn't really have a battle theme. You just seamlessly go from the world to enemy fights, so that's a thing. Alright, anyway, in whatever place we are now, I don't even know anymore. I think we're in 5th place. Hopefully I'm not disillusioned. Maybe we're in 6th place. We're somewhere. But it's going to be Final Fantasy X. All right, let's talk about Final Fantasy X's battle theme. All right, so when I said there was a big gap between 5 and 11, there was a big gap. But between 8 and 10, there's an even bigger gap. Because 10's battle theme is phenomenal. And I think that if I were talking about the remastered version, I would move it up to number 2. Because, yeah, I don't know. This isn't my favorite, this version specifically, but I still think it's so good. And I just, oh my gosh, it's so good. There's the feel to it. It's like tedious as a battle song, but like somehow, I don't know, it really has like it's like cheery, but there's the like drama to it. We've got some, let's see, I'm looking at the comments here trying to see if someone has the words to describe this song that I don't have currently. Let's see. Okay, this guy says that his mom listened to the song, and what does the song make you think of? Water. Okay, that's fair. I think that, yeah, what really this song does is it is FF10. It makes FF10 FF10. Like, you listen to this song and you remember every single thing that you've done playing this game. You remember every fight, I don't know. Like, I would say this is better if I didn't think that the original PlayStation 2 version didn't sound like washed out. I don't really like this version that much, but it's kind of my same thing with Final Fantasy 2. Like, I love the melody here, but it's just, I don't know. It's so cool, and you just listen to it, and it's perfect. It's a perfect song outside of, I don't like the instruments very much, and that's why it would hit number 2 otherwise, but it's so good. I don't even know. It's one of my favorite battle themes of all time, and it hits so nostalgically. There are some songs that are just written and they sound like nostalgia. This song, that's one of them. Let's think of some other ones I've got. Like this song. Wow. There's not that many songs really that just have that nostalgia like in them. Like, there's some songs that you aren't even nostalgic for the game and they already sound nostalgic. Like, the first time I heard this song, it felt perfect. Like, I hadn't even played the game before, but I already had, like, was kind of feeling nostalgia for it. You know, it's kind of crazy, this theme. I think it's one of those themes up there that just feels different, and if I liked the actual instruments in the original version, I have it higher. But again, ranking off the original versions, but I would say, like, this is up there with the Sticker Star main theme, which is not even that good, but that's like super nostalgic for me. I'll explain it in a different video, but like, it's up there, and it's just, I don't know, it's so good. I need to stop talking because there are other battle themes I need to talk about, but yeah. All right, next we're moving on to the newest entry in the series in 4th place, and that is the Final Fantasy 16 battle theme. wow, it's an experience to listen to that song. All right, I think this would honestly probably move up to number 1 if I had played the game. Once I play the game, I don't have super fond like memories of this or anything, but it's a masterpiece of a song. I'm gonna be honest. I found a comment on this video of the OST that perfectly describes like how cool this song is. So first of all, this song starts like the Final Fantasy VIII battle theme, Don't Be Afraid. Then it gets into Esper battle from Final Fantasy XII, which is not a main battle theme, that's why I didn't include it. And then the third part, there's like the Final Fantasy 15 vibes, and then there's the Final Fantasy 13 vibes. Like there's so many different things here now, and it feels large scale, which from what I've seen, all the battles in Final Fantasy 16 are like crazy scale battles, like it feels like, because that game is like all about war and tragedy and all that. And I really think that if I played this game, this would easily be number 1 for me. I just don't really have emotional connection to it, which is weird because my number 1 I haven't played either yet, but that one just hits different. I think I just need to listen to this one more and get more of a thing with it. But I think that this is one of my favorite battle themes of all time, and it's just so good. Like, I can listen to this song forever, and it doesn't loop like anything, like really. It just has the whole thingamabob. And I don't know, I look at the gameplay and it perfectly fits the game from what I'm seeing, and it's dark, tragic sounding, but also like war sounding. Like it doesn't sound like you're just like completely like, oh my gosh, I'm like losing it over here, but it just sounds so good. And let's see, I have some other stuff to say about it. It's just a major tribute to everything, and it perfectly fits the game. It doesn't loop. Sounds so good. And the orchestration, this is what happens when this one and Final Fantasy 15, which is coming up soon, take what actually can happen with orchestration, which Final Fantasy 14 I was kind of like, wow, we kind of wasted the orchestration battle theme. But here and in Final Fantasy 15, it's insane. So I'm so excited to play this game. I want to play it as soon as I move out. So it seems like an amazing game, and I can't wait. And this battle theme just makes me so hyped. And yeah, I played this song a lot, but I don't come back to it as much as the next 3 battle themes on this list. And in number 3 is going to have to be Final Fantasy 15's first battle theme. Take a listen. it took me forever to pick between that and the next battle theme on this list, but I ended up putting this one a little lower. But I've never played Final Fantasy 15, but I've watched my brother play it quite a bit, and honestly, I don't know why it seems like everyone hates this game. Maybe it's less fun to play than watch, but anyway, I'm so excited to play this game sometime. Anyway, but wow, this song is the epitome of an orchestrated battle theme. Like, it has all the... I mean, it's not my favorite orchestrated battle theme ever, but like, it's so intense and epic, and I like it marginally better than the last one and marginally worse than the last one. I mean, wait, hold up. Marginally worse than the next one, but just a little better than the last one. Like, it's hard to pick between these three. It's almost a tie, but I ended up putting this one a little above 16 since I've actually seen more of the gameplay for this game. But really, I think 16 could move up higher than this one. But this one is just so intense. It has so many different themes put together, like motifs. It's not like a repetitive song at all, which sometimes turns me off when a song just goes all over the place. But this song just is able to mesh so many epic motifs and catchy tunes in there, and it's not a song that I get stuck in my head like the next two, but it is one that is just so epic and so well written. I don't think it's like the most masterfully written in terms of how the harmonies are coming together and how as a song, but it's the most atmospheric, the most well orchestrated. Like, I still think this one's a bit more well orchestrated than the 16 one, and I just think that it's so well done. And it's kind of disappointing that apparently this is like only in the first region. I haven't played the game, but it's only in like the first region, which is apparently really small, so that's disappointing. But I mean, this isn't my favorite battle theme from the game, but it is up there. It's a really, really good one, and I haven't played the game very much, so I don't know. This could move higher, honestly, which is crazy since it's in third place. But I really do love this song. It's fantastic. But the next two are songs that I listen to just for fun, which most of the songs on here, I mean, I love them, but I'm not pulling them up, listening to them. But these next two, I listen to while I'm doing my homework. I listen to while I'm making video scripts. I listen to just casually, get stuck in a head, and the next two are just amazing songs. So which one is going to take the top spot? Next is Final Fantasy VII. Oh my goodness, this song. Wow, it's just crazy, dude. This song is so good. So you listen to it's so good. There's this guy who said literally even a baby would know this song, and honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if they did. Like, this song is so good, and it's crazy. The build up, the climax being like a slow orchestrated part, and also they make a bassoon sound like the coolest instrument ever, which, okay, Nobuo Uematsu, like, how do you do that? Like, how do you make a bassoon for, like, whole note bassoon notes sound like the most epic shiz ever? Like, that is insane. This song is so good. It fits perfectly with the game. And honestly, like, some people might think I'm just saying this out of nostalgia because, well, first of all, I'm 16. I did not play this game when the game came out. I haven't played Remake yet because I'm waiting for all 3 parts to come out, which might be a stupid idea in terms of actually getting, like, views on my videos, but whatever. Anyway, and also, this is not nostalgia for me. I don't even, like, FF7, it didn't come out. I literally was born in 2007. Like, I was born years after this game came out. But literally, here's the thing that I have to say about this. Like, Final Fantasy VII is my 7th favorite Final Fantasy game. I really think it's not all that. I'm not that person who thinks, like, grew up, it wasn't like this crazy thing for me, and yet the battle theme is just this good for me. And I mean, I love the game, I just don't like it as much as a lot of the other Final Fantasy games. And that's actually, I mean, that is counting, of course, that's counting a bunch of, like, spin-offs and stuff, but I've only played 1 through 10. It's a little sad that it's that low for me. 1 through 10 and some spin-offs and stuff, so it's a little awkward that it's that low for me, but I really do love Final Fantasy VII. It's just not the same game for me as it is for other people, which I'm going to talk about in a different video. But I mean, I wish I could love Final Fantasy VII as much as everyone else does, but Remake looks amazing. I want to play it so bad. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm here to say that this theme holds up for anyone. Like, I bet even my mom would like this song. My mom hates battle themes. Like, actually, I'm gonna go play it for her right now. I'll let you know in a second. And an update. That is the first time she's ever said has said that she's liked a video game battle theme. So that is enough to say that this song is amazing. I'm sure of it. So anyway, let's move on to number 1. The Final Fantasy XIII battle theme. Honestly, this is one of my favorite songs in the history of gaming. Wow, I love this song so much. First of all, it takes the main character theme and just amps it up into a battle theme, which could be stupid, but Lightning's theme is one of my favorite video game songs, and I love battle themes, so that takes it up. So it's my second favorite battle theme in any RPG ever. And I'm going to make a video eventually saying my top 10, 15, I don't know, battle themes. I'm not going to spoil it in this video, but be sure to check out eventually what that will be. But I absolutely adore this song. I think it's just insane. This song, I haven't played FF13 once. I haven't even seen a battle. I haven't seen the battle. Yeah, I know that this is gonna make the game twice as good just listening to this song, because I adore this song, and I don't care how bad FF13 is. If it's the worst game I've ever played, I haven't played it yet, and I'll probably like it since I'm controversial and think FF2 is better than Final Fantasy VII. I know I'm an idiot, but if I don't like Final Fantasy 13, I know I'll be able to get through it and review it and rank stuff because this battle theme exists. And this song is just so good. I don't know. I think that I wish I even knew the guy who composed the song, but he is like one of the most underrated RPG composers ever. Like, it's crazy. Like, Final Fantasy 13 is amazing for its music. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love the music in this game, but it's so good, this battle theme, and I don't care how bad Final Fantasy 13 might be once I play it. It doesn't matter to me because this song is so good. So, second favorite battle theme of all time. That's saying something. It's so perfect. The orchestration, the build up, the representation of the game's themes and all that. So, that's amazing. Thank you all for watching this video. It was a long one, but you know, I feel like there was going to be someone out there who wanted something like this, a deep analysis of the Final Fantasy themes, and this is long as all heck, but if you finished it, thank you so much. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and check out more videos on the channel. This was my first time I'm actually analyzing music here on the channel, but music is my favorite thing, even above video games. So eventually I want to make a music channel if I do successful on these type of music videos. So thank you for watching until the end, and if you are literally the biggest champion ever. You're the best. Thank you for watching this video. Have a fantastic day. Peace out, RPG nerds.